The characteristic features of Indian culture have long been a search for ultimate verities. With these words, Paramhansa Yogananda began his timeless classic, Autobiography of a Yogi. Sanyal Mahasaya, the last living disciple of Lahiri Mahasaya. Ananda Moyi Ma, the joy-permeated mother of Autobiography of a Yogi. The mission that Paramhansa Yogananda brought to the West began in 1861 on Drongiri Mountain. Here, Lahiri Mahasaya met the great master, Babaji. Lying by the water of the Gogash River, Lahiri Mahasaya recalled the chill wavelets of the river lapped now and then over my body, outstretched on the rocky bank. Tigers howled nearby, but my heart was free of fear. A page from Lahiri Mahasaya's diary. Danapur was where he was stationed when by Babaji's will he received a temporary transfer to Ranikhet. Lahiri Mahasay's sandals, his copy of the Bhagavad Gita, and a photograph of the Master and of his saintly son Tinkuri Lahiri. Of Lahiri Mahasay's photograph, Yogananda wrote, "His picture had a surpassing influence over my life. In meditation, I would often see his photographic image emerge from its small frame and, taking a living form, sit before me." Lahiri Mahasay's grandson, Abhay Charan, and his wife before the seat on which Lahiri Mahasaya used to sit in Samadhi, while a constant stream of visitors came and meditated in his presence. An early photograph of Lahiri Mahasaya. A page from his journal. The Master's home was in Benares. Outside his home, the balcony where he expounded the hidden teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. A statue of Trilanga Swami, a famous contemporary, in the Swami's ashram. Trilanga is reputed to have lived over 300 years. The Sasamid bathing ghat. Here, Ram Gopal, a highly advanced disciple of Lahiri Mahasaya, met Babaji and Babaji's sister, Mataji. Ram Gopal said the night was bright with moonlight and the glittering stars. After I had sat in patient silence for a while, my attention was drawn to a huge stone slab near my feet. It rose gradually, revealing an underground cave. As the stone became stationary, held up by some unknown means, the draped form of a young and surpassingly lovely woman emerged from the cave and levitated high in the air. Surrounded by a soft halo, she slowly descended in front of me and stood motionless, steeped in ecstasy. Babaji later appeared. It was at this meeting that Ram Gopal heard him promise always to keep his physical body. It was by the will of Babaji, in communion with Christ, that Yogananda was born to bring the message of Kriya Yoga to the West. 4 Gurpar Road in Calcutta, Yogananda's boyhood home. There, he wrote, in a small attic room, I engaged in daily meditations and prepared my mind for the divine search. Yogananda's brothers Ananda and family in the kitchen at 4 Gurpar Road. Vishnu, the Master's youngest brother, and his family. Vishnu was a famous physical culturist. It is fascinating to see how different aspects of the Master's face and personality were manifested in his various relatives. Tamu, Yogananda's youngest sister, is on the left. Right is Bodhi, the wife of his oldest brother, Ananta, seated with the Miss Dayamata, president of Self-Realization Fellowship. During his boyhood, Mukunda, Yogananda's boyhood name, visited many saints. This is the home of Bhaduri Mahasaya, the levitating saint. Bhaduri Mahasaya's bed. The saint turned aside praise for having renounced great family wealth for God. The short-sighted worldly folk, he said, are verily the real renunciates. They relinquish an unparalleled divine possession for a poor handful of earthly toys. Mukunda worshipped God in the aspect of Kali, a name for the Divine Mother of the universe, personified in this clay statue. 50 Amherst Street, home of Master Mahasaya, the blissful devotee, through whose intercession the young boy, Mukunda, was blessed with words of divine reassurance by the Cosmic Mother. Always have I loved thee, ever shall I love thee. This house, Yogananda wrote, now the residence of Master Mahasaya, had once been my family home, the scene of my mother's death, hallowed walls, silent witness of my grievous hurts and final healing. A library that Yogananda founded when still a boy, collecting donations of books from many sources. The library is still going. The Mahamandal hermitage in Benares, where Mukunda went after graduation from high school. The ashram members, wrote Yogananda, knowing little of meditation practices, thought I should employ my whole time in organizational duties. Don't try to find God so soon, one of them ridiculed. Torn by spiritual anguish, I entered the attic one dawn, resolved to pray until an answer was vouchsafed. I have a love who's far away, far away, far away. I have a love who's far away, farther away than the stars. Mother, you've stolen my heart away, heart away, heart away. Mother, you've stolen my heart away, farther away than the stars. Keep me not bound here, teach me to fly, far from earth's madness, free ere I die. Keep me not bound, Ma, teach me to fly, farther away than the stars. There's nothing here nearly so dear, nearly so dear, nearly so dear. Mother, I know your love's ever near, though farther away than the stars. Suddenly I felt lifted as though bodily to a sphere uncircumscribed. Thy Master cometh today. A divine, womanly voice came from everywhere and nowhere. Here is the so-called narrow, inconspicuous lane where Mukunda met his guru, Swami Yukteswar. A Christ-like man in the ochre robes of a Swami stood motionless at the end of the lane. "Oh, my own, you have come to me." My guru uttered the words again and again in Bengali, his voice tremulous with joy. "How many years I have waited for you." The home of Sri Yukteswar's mother, where he was staying at the time of that meeting. Jitendra, as a boy, left the Mahamandal hermitage with Mukunda. He was the friend who accompanied Mukunda on the test immortalized in the chapter Two Penniless Boys in Vrindavan. The ruins of Sri Yukteswar's hermitage in Serampore. Raighat Lane, down which Sri Yukteswar would walk from his hermitage to the Ganges. Raighat itself, where the lane emerges. The banyan tree at Raighat. Sri Yukteswar told Yogananda, "As I passed beyond the sight of the large banyan tree near the river bank, a strong impulse urged me to look back. There, under the shade of the banyan, and surrounded by a few disciples, sat the great Babaji." The boarding house where Mukunda lived while attending college in Serampore. Serampore College. Mukunda went in search of Ram Gopal, the sleepless saint. Only a krosha, 2 miles, people told him. The walk took him all day through endless paddy fields. Tarakeshwar temple, where Mukunda went after his visit to Ram Gopal. The round stone inside the temple enlarged before my inner vision until it became the cosmical spheres, ring within ring, zone after zone, all dowered with divinity. Sri Yukteswar's seaside hermitage in the town of Puri, built by Master and his disciples, Yogananda wrote, the cheerful little two-storied retreat fronts on the Bay of Bengal. Yogananda's bedroom in the Puri hermitage. Since those days, new houses have been built that partly obscure the view. One thinks of the venerable Guru going out on the beach, and one remembers the time he went out with the young boys and lined them up in a row, telling them to march in step as he chanted, "Boys go to and fro in a pretty little row."
Boys go to and fro in a pretty little row. Boys go to and fro. 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 Boys go to and fro in a pretty little row.
The Samadhi Mandir, where Sri Yukteswar is buried, in the distance can be seen the famous Jagannath temple of Puri. Inside Sri Yukteswar's Samadhi Mandir, awake for morning in the bowl of night, has flung the stone that puts the stars to flight. And lo, the hunter of the east has called the Sultan's turret in a noose of light. Dreaming when dawn's left hand was in the sky, I heard a voice within the tavern cry, "Awake, my little ones, and fill a cup before life's liquor in its cup be dry." Kali Temple, where Yogananda went to pray for the conversion of his brother-in-law, Satish Chandra Bose. Here the great saint Sri Ramakrishna lived and worshipped, attaining the highest samadhi beneath this tree. The courtyard across which the temple priest came to offer Yogananda and his party a meal, as if in direct answer to Shatish's challenge, "I would like to see your Divine Mother giving us food here without prior arrangements." The approach to the shrine where the image of Kali is kept. I proceeded alone to the portico that fronts the large temple of Kali, God in the aspect of Mother Nature. Selecting a shady spot near one of the pillars, I sat down and assumed the lotus posture. The world receded as I became devotionally entranced. My mind was concentrated on Goddess Kali. "Silent Mother of Stone," I prayed, "heed the wails of this yearning son of thine." it's you they call. Some through mists of their unknowing, bruised and hurting when they fall, turn away, but who can leave you? You, the mother of us all. If the child forgets its mother, will she coldly turn away? Wise or foolish, we're your children. Guide us, Mother, if we stray. Those whose hearts are torn with anguish lack the power your name to call. Heal their wounds, Ma, soothe their sorrows. You, the mother of us all. Heal their wounds, Ma, soothe their sorrows. You, the mother of us all. Master went with Sri Yukteswar to Kashmir. There in Srinagar they saw this temple dedicated many centuries ago by the great Swami Shankaracharya. Seeing the temple, Yogananda fell into an ecstatic trance. A vision appeared, he wrote, of a hilltop mansion in a distant land. Years later, this building was to become the headquarters of his worldwide mission. Many were the centers the great master was to found, and many the disciples he awakened in God during his 32 years in America. The Master's mission began with the founding of a small school for boys in the village of Dihika. This was the school building. A year later, he moved the school to Ranchi. Following the educational ideals of the ancient rishis, Yogananda wrote, I arranged that most of the class instruction be given out of doors. This is the lake where Master and students went the day he foretold Kashi's early death. Serpentine Lane, where Master discovered that Kashi was to be reborn. The former storeroom where Yogananda saw in vision a panorama of Western faces. God was calling him to begin his mission to the West. We see here the building being dedicated as a permanent shrine. The Master's bedroom at 4 Gurpar Road, where Babaji came to him to bestow his blessings on the young missionary's voyage to the West. The Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram, a leading religious figure in India, said of Yogananda's mission in the West, I met Yogananda in Calcutta in 1935. I have been following his activities in America ever since. As a bright light shining in the midst of darkness, so was Yogananda's presence in this world. Such a great soul comes on earth only rarely when there is a real need among men.
Moon of my delight who knowest no wane, the moon of heaven is rising once again. How oft hereafter rising shall she look through this same garden after me in vain?